program was pre-recorded.
You've entered the Fletch Nation with Roy Fletcher, political analyst and socio-political prophet, and Kevin Gallagher, TV and podcast host and opinionated jackhole. So settle in, grab a beverage. It's time to talk some politics. It's Fletch Nation. Now here are the boys.
Once again, we bid you hello from the state capital, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and the old school barbecue smokehouse at 10655 Coursey Boulevard. If you want it homemade, you want it to taste like homemade, this is the place for you. Come on. Hi, Roy.
Right. Kevin, how are you, man?
I'm pretty well, pretty darn well. It's been a crazy week. You know what I've noticed? You know what I haven't noticed much in the media in the last week? I haven't noticed many of the media outlets talking about the Durham report.
They do not want to discuss it, Kevin.
Oh, no.
And the longer it goes, last night I had an interesting experience. I did a politics with Punch. You know I don't know if you know the show.
Is that Jeff
Carrera? Yeah. He had it at Sullivan's here in Baton Rouge. Had a nice crowd there. And I was one of the panelists, along with Woody Jenkins, Jay Darden, pretty interesting group. The lady, Jennifer Robertson, is she the lady that cleans up the city?
She is.
Yeah, she's wonderful. She's really.
And she's a really nice lady, too.
Very nice lady.
Keep Tigertown beautiful. Beautiful is the name of her group.
Yeah, she's something else. And Valerie Hodges. I'd say Harper. Where was that from? She was married to Eddie Van Halen. No,
that was Valerie Bird. No, Valerie Harper was Rhoda.
Rhoda, that's right. God, that's way back there, Kevin. No wonder I forgot it.
Sitcom hell.
And then some comedian.
Valerie Hodges, did she talk about her bill to prevent foreign land ownership in Louisiana?
Yes, she had just passed it, and and she got there a little late because she had passed that bill, and it was. Everybody kind of asked her, I mean, why did you have to pass this bill? Why is this happening? And in the discussion, I think that she disclosed that the Chinese had just bought 2 golf courses in Bossier Parish.
Yeah.
One at the northern end of Barksdale and one at the southern end. Now, why would the Chinese want a golf course around a major military installation that carries nukes?
Who in the hell let that happen?
I don't know. But that's what I heard last night.
Our nuclear bomber wing, and they own land adjacent to it on 2 sides?
Yeah, apparently so. But they're golf courses. You know, that's what they're going to use.
Sure, because that's what the Chinese are all about, is golf.
Yeah, and
they love it.
Of course, they'll have caddies riding around with with binoculars and other kind of
listening devices,
seismic equipment. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I bring that up because we got to discuss a little bit of the Durham report, and the more that I have read now, and it's a long document. It's pretty damn amazing that these people, a lot of them, do not face criminal charges. But when you have sort of the authority and you make these decisions that are not necessarily intentional to harm somebody the way they say it, but just simply administrative kind of decisions, you kind of have immunity from that because you're not in the process of stealing anything, okay? Except an election.
Yeah.
But that don't count. And the more that we learn about it, we also learn that, and now Jim Jordan is talking about establishing a committee in the House or have it before the House Judiciary Committee, hearings on the way that they handled the Clintons. Because in the Durham report, it basically says that 3 investigations of the Clintons were shut down. One on the Clinton Foundation, one on her and the washing the emails and beating up the phones and all of that.
Scrubbing the server.
And what?
With a cloth?
I think
Did I wipe it with a cloth?
And the other one I think was taking money from foreign nationals. So that report is just chock full of stuff.
3 investigations called off.
3 just on Clinton. And it reminds you that, and this is where I'm going to take this because you asked the question, but it reminds us, it should remind us, it must remind us, frankly, of what is going on with the Hunter Biden investigation and all of the money pouring into the Biden family from China. That is beyond dispute. This is factual because of the bank records. They know what was going on. Make somebody explain as to why they were getting all of this money, $10 million. And why was it going into 20 accounts?
What was it for?
And what was it for? Or at least, what did they think it was for?
And don't tell me that they were paying him $10 million to consult, because the guy doesn't have any skills.
Well, it may be that he was getting $10 million to consult on what the United States government did with respect to China. Oh, that would be consultation, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Might be influence peddling. I don't know.
Yeah. Consult on how your dad can call off the dogs.
Yeah, exactly, or whatever it might be. It could be that they needed more funding for Wuhan. I don't know. But that's why the press is not covering the Durham thing. And then things like this happen. The FBI, Chuck Grassley and James Comer, Grassley, the ranking minority member of, I think, the Senate Judiciary Committee, and Comer, the chairman of I don't think it's the Weaponization Committee, but it's the House Oversight Committee. They have both received evidence and apparently in some form of a communique with a lawyer for a whistleblower in either the FBI or the IRS. That says that the FBI has an extensive document that details, this is extensive detail of what is going on with respect to the Bidens, and he basically, it says what this extensive evidence shows and detail shows is that they were taking kickbacks and payoffs from foreign interest, particularly, i.e., the Chinese. The FBI has been asked to give that document up and has refused to do so. Oh, they claim that they're in negotiations over, but so far they have refused to do so.
Let's speculate why when we return in just a moment.
I think that's a good speculated talk.
3 minutes, and we'll return with more Fletch Nation.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
You could be driving.
Now's the time to save on new Accords during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana. Get our lowest prices and biggest savings on our largest selection of Accords this year. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana, I-49 just south of Opelousas.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Caught spiders?
Premier Pest Services.
Hi, welcome back to Fletch Nation. It's always good to engage the imagination, a little speculation. So let's speculate.
And what was our speculative topic, Kevin?
Have we lost? We've forgotten in 3 minutes.
I literally, look, I'm thinking about 6 other things.
Well, we're swimming in, and you'll forgive us if we might have gotten a little sidetracked.
Why is the press not covering the Durham report?
Well, shall I open it, or would you like to begin?
Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, I think the simple thing is if they say, a friend of mine in broadcasting for many years, and he was speaking more on a local level, but I think it applies right on up the line when you're talking about broadcast entities. Of the top leadership, he said they will go to the ends of the earth to avoid ever having to admit that they made a mistake. And so when you're talking about broadcast outlets that take their marching orders from top office, and top office says go after Trump and blah 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 and tell this story, here's this piece on the Christopher Wray and the Steele dossier and all, and they run with it enthusiastically because a lot of them have big fat paychecks on the line. So now they're not gonna come out and say, what can I tell you? We were just doing our jobs and that's what they told us to do. They're not going to do that.
Some have changed stories. The Washington Post has changed a number of stories that they've written in the past, but they have never apologized. I don't know that anybody has apologized for what they did. And remember, they just didn't do that to candidate Trump. They did that to President Trump. And there was such an abridgment of his rights and of a lot of people's rights that it was, I felt like it was almost criminal. And I was surprised that ultimately that, I wasn't disappointed, but I was surprised that at least one of those people didn't get indicted. But the press does not want to cover it, not only because they would have to admit there was a mistake, a fact. They have to admit there's a mistake of narrative. And then they can't admit that because they are already knee-deep or waist-deep in a narrative that flows off of it that they want to promote, which is Joe Biden don't know anything about anything that Hunter did. Okay? I mean, what did they do? We don't even, what you mean $10 million? That's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. The whole, because if they say, and this is my observation though, if they say that they made a mistake or that the narrative is not correct, that means that you might not believe them the next time they say something.
What they don't understand is, I think, for a lot of minds in America, that damage is already done.
I think it's
and
over.
The media is never, the news media is never going to get the public's trust back.
Never get it back, and they still live in the dream world that they're all powerful, all knowing, and all correct. And
they are the shapers of opinion.
And so, but if they say they were incorrect, let's think about a minute about who becomes verified, as they say, validated because of what happened. The very people they hate the most. The conservatives, the conspiracy theorists, they called them, all of that.
Yeah.
And so we hate you so much that we can't admit that we were so wrong and you were so right. Oh,
we got caught conspiring to destroy you.
Yes, we got caught conspiring. Now, we don't want to report this Hunter Biden stuff because, again, it's a, what do they say? Another conspiracy theory. But it's not a conspiracy theory when you got the receipts. The receipts are there. All they have to do, all the committee has to do is release the receipts for us to see it. But here's the problem. They will look at the receipts and go, that don't say what you say it said.
Yeah.
Well, no, it says they went to this Biden LLC. Yes, but it didn't go to Joe Biden.
Yeah, because
it didn't go to Joe
his granddaughter's LLC.
Okay. It didn't go to Joe.
A 14-year-old granddaughter owns an LLC.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to make up so many excuses about what is sitting there that's unbelievable. Anyway, so the FBI refuses to produce the document that this whistleblower says is at the FBI. So Comer says, I'm going to subpoena you. Well, as a threat. And Grassley's going crazy. And Chris Wray, they send a letter on the date certain of which they have to produce. We have certain secretive imperatives here that we don't want to disclose. Human resources.
Threat to natural
I mean, where have we heard this before? Anytime anybody asks for anything that's damaging to the Democrats, there's always human resources. But you know what?
It's a security issue.
Well, you know what? I never heard that damn excuse on the Steele dossier. Not one time did I hear that excuse. They were pushing that out like it was vanilla ice cream. If everybody have a big bite of this, it's all true. Everything is true. But not this. No, we can't do that. So Comer's has asked Ray for a meeting because he's going to tell him that we're going to hold you in contempt, and et cetera, et cetera. I don't think that's going to do a damn bit of good, because I don't think they're going to give it up. Because here's why. It is sources telling them what is going on. And they don't want those sources to be, they don't want not to just the sources, they don't want what is being told to them disclosed. Mm-hmm. Why is that? Because it's so damn damaging.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, what they said was a conspiracy theory is no longer a conspiracy theory. It becomes real.
The list of former conspiracy theories is starting to get taller all the time.
It's just as we've said several times. If you the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth is a week or two.
Yep.
And that's just the way it is. As it relates to that, and it's going to take us into the next segment.
Yeah, we're just under a minute's break.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to. As it relates to that, there was a group of IRS Criminal Division agents investigating Hunter Biden and all this money. And of course, they were investigating for, I'm sure, income tax evasion or some kind of pilfering within his income taxes. Why would they? I mean, you know, after all, there's 10 million come in from different companies, and who owns the control, and it's all kind of things going on. So when we get back, I'll tell you what has happened to this group of IRS agents and what is being done.
And it's just a coincidence. Fletch Nation returns in a moment.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Dignity Memorial can help. Our prepaid funeral plans make sure that your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. At Dignity Memorial, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee Serio at 225-315-6329. That's 315-6329. Dignity Memorial, the peace of mind your family deserves.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The season of inspiration is the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named a 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 45 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi gang, Clarence Buggs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Buggs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
welcome once again. It's Fletch Nation.
We got us.
As you can see, we got a
us
live
beer
audience.
drinker went right by there.
We got a live audience in the house here at the Old School Barbecue Smokehouse, and so we're talking about an entire team of IRS agents assigned to investigate
criminal
Hunter Biden
division, IRS, and there
are also some DOJ agents, as I understand too.
Well, maybe, but did certainly the IRS. So it was reported last week, and we reported it here, that this team had been relieved of its responsibilities as it related to the Hunter Biden investigation. Yeah, we're just going to relieve the team, right? And it was reported that the DOJ had asked for that to be done. Well, the IRS commissioner apparently got under a little bit of pressure, like a lot, and he kind of cracked. And so he tells the media that he denied intervening to retaliate against whistleblower connected to the Hunter Biden complaint. He denied that he had anything, so somebody had the sense to say, well, who did complain? And he said, the DOJ. He threw him right under the bus, bro.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I was told that the DOJ had an investigation that they needed this to stop on. Well, what investigation was that? Well, nobody can kind of name the investigation. You understand?
Subject verboten.
Oh yes, exactly, exactly. And so now here we are at the point that obviously there is either, however you say it, there is either another investigation dealing with Hunter Biden and income taxes and so on and so forth being run by the Department of being run by the Department of Justice, or there should be an investigation of obstruction of justice on the Department of Justice. Either one, take your pick, whichever one you like, door 1, door 2, or door 3. But it's the way I see this thing now.
This is all very troubling to me, Roy, because it seems like we're in a situation now where who watches the watchers? Our Department of Justice that's supposed to represent the federal government looking out for law and order.
The Department of Justice.
And if they're corrupt, then who oversees them besides oversight committees?
Well, it seems
Congress.
to me that you have a really big word in there. If they are corrupt. Well, perhaps we already know that answer.
Well, it certainly,
if you take
it has an appearance anyway.
Yeah. If you take the Durham report and you add it to this, what's the whistleblower that we talked about earlier, who had blew himself all over a piece of paper or whatever that they won't release, and now they are intervening in a federal income tax investigation of Hunter Biden, and the DOJ tells the IRS, you can't do that. Don't do that because we have another investigation going on. I think they've already proven one thing. They're either corrupt or they have another investigation going on. And if there's another investigation going on, exactly what is that investigation?
Well, I was just wondering, why can't Treasury and Justice cooperate on the subject? If Justice has got an investigation and they say we want Treasury called off, what's the purpose of that?
Well, I'm sure that the answer would be, well, this could affect litigation, and it could affect evidentiary trails, and it could, there's all kind of bogus crap.
Shoulda, coulda.
Yeah, woulda, shoulda, coulda. But there's all kind of bogus things that they could raise as a potential there. Look, nobody's kidding anybody in case they think they are. We all know what this is all about. What they are doing is attempting to cover up something that they do not want the public to see, about the Bidens. This period, simple.
Until at
from
least
Chinese money.
Until at the very least, until after November 2024.
Yes, at least Chinese money or some such. They have to keep this stuff corralled.
I've got a suspicion it's more than just Chinese money. I think there's any number of countries involved. Ukraine, Venezuela,
Saudi
Russia.
Saudi Arabia. No, just all kind of them. Maybe even Iran. You don't know. I mean, Iran, by the way, is on their little proclivity right now. They're actually building nuclear plants that that relate to weaponry. Yeah, they're not.
I thought John Kerry had that all nailed down.
Yeah, he shifted his focus. He went on and shifted his focus to you know what? Climate change.
Yeah, climate change. Zero carbon.
It's more existential than nuclear weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Well, everybody can buy.
By existential, you mean nebulous, hard to prove.
Yes. I mean, another conspiracy theory, if you want to know the truth. I mean, come on. So that's what's going on with all of that, and it baffles me every day how this is just a gang of roaches, and a gang of cover-up artists and flim-flam artists, and I feel significantly bad for people who are IRS agents, in Louisiana or Mississippi or someplace else, and FBI agents. They got to deal with that crap up there, and that you and I both know if they anything like they don't want to deal with that. They consider that to be just as abhorrent as we do. So anyway, I'll say that. And now let's go to the next big story, which is the debt limit countdown. Countdown.
Yeah. And now on with the countdown.
Yes. Now who was that, Kevin?
Casey Kasem.
Huh?
Casey Kasem.
That's
American
right.
Top 40.
That's right. And then there was a song about the final countdown. Right?
Yeah. What was the name of that? Europe was the name of that band. The final countdown.
See, that's Kevin's around because
I hated that song. I hated that song so much.
I did too. Well, after
but
the 33rd,
here we are, man. It's like
after the 33rd time I heard that song, I didn't like it.
Some sides of this whole debt ceiling argument make it sound like like nuclear bombs are going to go off if this thing runs out of time. Oh my God!
Well,
of course, all the usual things they haul out to threaten the American people is if we go into default, you won't get your Social Security, you won't get your Medicare.
Yeah, it's always that.
Yeah, it's never be like Congress going, we won't get paid.
No, nobody said we're not going to take our salary until we get this done. Nobody's going to do that. And the debt ceiling talk has a connection to Louisiana. I didn't sleep last night. But
Sorry about that.
We will get back and we will and we will talk about the debt ceiling.
More to come.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Gallagher. This is Roy Fletcher. We hope you'll join us for Fletch Nation, especially if you like talking politics.
Hey, come and join us. We'll give you the information, and then we'll give you the context. And by the way, we'll give you fun, too.
Lots of fun. We hit the local races, the state. We even look at what's going on all across America. And by the way, this space is available. If you'd like to talk about advertising, send your emails to royfletcher at royfletcher.com and join us every week here on the Pelican for Fletch Nation.
The biggest sale of the year is happening right now during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on every new Honda. That's right, you choose and make no payments for 90 days at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Returns, and first of all, I'd like to thank you if you're listening to us on one of the many, many radio stations across Louisiana. And if you're watching us on one of the fine cable systems here on Pelican Broadcasting, thank you for watching. We appreciate you. So
the obligatory debt limit festival, it's every summer. It just changes, the dates to change a bit, but it's always every summer, and we have the festival, and everybody says, we only have 22 seconds for this to happen. This is kicking down. Seconds. And we did it in 8 seconds. It's great. They made it.
And it's always something like this. The Republicans go, well, okay, we'll do it, but we only want to do it. We're only going to do it if we get to cut spending. And then the Democrats, no, you're going to do it. You're going to give us everything we want. And then
the Republicans capitulate.
Yeah, and then there's a little dance, and they refuse to talk to one another, and then they finally talk to one another, and Republicans give them, 90% of what they wanted.
99.
And take that 10% and go, look what we did.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
What's that game where they pop up and you hit them?
Whack-a-mole.
Yeah, it's a whack-a-mole game.
Whack-a-mole. Meanwhile, they're talking, and I still do not understand.
Meanwhile, we have a $32 trillion debt.
$32 trillion debt, and the only way that we can pay on our debt is to go deeper in debt. We need to borrow money to pay our bills.
And nobody stops us. It's just it's embarrassing to the drunken sailor. I mean, it really is. It really is. They spend it like a drunken sailor.
But that's an insult to drunken sailors everywhere.
That's an insult to drunken sailors, absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, I've noticed it's
but the stories are all the same.
News conferences aplenty.
The president's not negotiating. Oh, no, it's the Republicans.
McCarthy's not negotiating.
They lied to us in that. Oh, yeah, but they didn't do what they said. No, I don't know if you'd call it a lie. I mean, it's all the same every year.
And as I said before, the usual arguments of they're going to kill Medicare, they're going to take away your Social Security, it's all those nasty.
Here's where we are right now. This is pathetic when you think about it. So the Republicans say we want to go back. We want to have the debt limit thing. So we want the budget not to exceed what it was in 2022. The last year,
Just
right?
10, yeah, just
big cut.
13 months ago.
Democrats say, no, we want the budget to increase by 1%.
In order to do what?
Well, you know, the things they have
More
to...
Democrat stuff.
Yeah. The things that they have to do to buy
We haven't
votes.
handed out enough of somebody else's money yet.
And by the way, while we're at it, we want to raise taxes by what is it? I can't remember. 4.3 trillion.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like it's a number I couldn't even grasp. Senator Kennedy forced Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, to admit to that amount, that's what the tax increases were. So the Democrats say only 1% increase, and we want $4.3 trillion in new tax.
1%.
So let's talk about what last year's. Let's talk about what last year's budget was. Since 2020, the budget has increased $2 trillion a year. So all the Democrats want is $2 trillion more. No, the Republicans don't want anything. We just don't want.
They want zero growth.
Don't need to do anything. The Democrats want,
in other words,
1% more, which is about $2 trillion.
So what you're saying is Republicans want to hold the line and make do with what they have in projected revenue.
Hell, come on. I mean, come on. Is $6 trillion increase holding the line? No. So what do we have? I mean, it's a facade. It's all, you know. Let's go to the magic show.
Yeah. Smoke and mirrors.
Because all we have to do is listen to them tell us what they're going to do, because they're not going to do it anyway. Now, in Louisiana, we have somebody intimately involved. Garrett Graves, our congressman. Little did I know he was a budget cutter. Oh, wait, they're not cutting the budget.
Yeah.
Okay? They're just trying to hold down the increase.
Yep.
That's all. And that's what it's always about. And when it's over with, the Republicans say, we've saved you $500 billion.
We know we suck, but we're trying to suck less.
No, they only spent $1.5 billion more, and not that last $500 billion. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. But they're going to do a deal because they have no choice.
What's the deadline? Is it Friday? Friday.
It seems about 22 seconds from now.
the deadline's the end of the week, though.
Yeah,
I predict it'll be right down to the final hour.
Yeah, it'll and the notion that they're going to cut Social Security and Medicare, I dare them. Please do, because then it's going to be a fight over who did it to somebody. But trust me, it will be damaging to both sides.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
If they try to make that argument and in the process blow this debt ceiling. I mean, it's just not. So I mean, this is a ridiculous exercise. Former Congressman Billy Tozan, I saw a Facebook post he made, and he said, I have a way to keep this from happening. Would somebody like to champion it? Well, he never did say what it was. I wish he had said what it was. It would be nice to know, since he's gone, what does he see as the way to stop this, given the fact that he didn't offer it when he was there. I'm just asking. I love that. Well, I got a brilliant plan.
What is it?
I'm not going to tell you because, you know.
Play my cards close to the vest.
That's right. So anyway.
Give me a 20.
Huh?
Give me a 20 and I'll tell you.
Yeah. So anyway, it's pretty. It's a pretty stupid operation.
Enjoy the theater. Some of your favorite shows are ending for the season, so you'll need some drama to.
Oh, here's one. The White House dug in on demands and debt limit talk.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna make one other point about this debt limit thing.
For Joe, by the way, Joe Biden, dug in for him means he sat down and he's not getting back up anytime soon.
No, it means that he can remember it from one day to the next.
I'm dug in.
But here's what makes it interesting is that McCarthy is the guy kind of in the vice seat. McCarthy was elected took 13, 17 ballots to be speaker.
Yeah.
And then he only won, by a couple
of votes.
Yeah. And he had to agree to allow them to run him off if one person filed. They get to vote on him every time one person files a piece of paper. Well, if and they've already passed a debt limit or a budget over there in the House, so if he comes back to the House without getting what they voted on or somewhere close to it, he kind of got some real political problems.
Yep.
That makes it interesting. We'll be right back.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Here we are again, Fletch Nation, and glad to have you with us once again.
Doing my show.
And we are just wrapping up. This is our final segment. Roy thought that maybe.
Well, I thought I would stay off the phone, but I had to get back on. That's really strange.
You need to let your circle of friends and contacts know that you do a weekly television show.
Well, they do know. They're just messing with it.
Listen, I did morning radio.
They like calling me in the middle of it.
I did morning radio for 35 years, and my mama would call me whenever she felt like it. She didn't care if I was on the air or not. She just
what I would give for my mother calling me right now.
Exactly, and that's the way I treated my mom. I never ever said, "Mom, I'm sorry, I can't talk right now."
16 years ago when she died. Anyway,
God bless. So, little lightning round of things going on in the world of politics.
Well, let's talk about Louisiana.
Okay.
So, what you think?
Well, I think that it's interesting that Stephen Waguespack, the former head of the LABI, got into the race. But I want to disclaim that I know Stephen, and wouldn't consider us to be friends, but we're friendly acquaintances, if you will, from when he was a repeated guest on my radio show. But
as the head of lobby.
Yeah, as the head of LABI. But if I were a Republican, maybe it's just me, but if I were a Republican, I would be daunted by the Jeff Landry machine right now. He's got all that money, over $5 million of his own. He's got another $2 million in a pack that's just ready to throw at him. He's got, Gervich and the rest of the state Republicans more or less in his. I mean, I know there are Republicans who don't want him.
Yeah.
But are there enough to sidetrack Jeff Landry?
There's the key question there. Is there enough? Now, Landry has a lot of money, but he's burning money pretty good. Now, on the other hand, Waguespack is burning a ton of money now because he had this pack.
The Wags campaign is an expensive ad.
Reboot Louisiana. They're running a bunch of ads, and a lot of people are kind of asking why, because they don't tell you much either about him or what his message is. He's just the right leader at the right time for the right state, at the right country, the right moment, the right whatever it is that they're saying. But so Landry, on the other hand, is running a lot of ads on crime, which seems to be.
Plus, he's all over the media just for being the Attorney General.
Yes, he is. And so the question, I mean, you can see it as a juggernaut, or you can sneeze.
Bless you. You about to sneeze?
I got the yawns and I got the sneezes.
I know, it's so terrible to do it when you're live on camera.
Well, I can't help it, folks. I'm tired.
Be helped.
I don't sleep at night. Anyway, so the fact is that the question becomes, can Waguespack stop him? And I don't know the answer to that, but it appears to me that right now you have to bet on Landry if you're betting.
Yep.
But I will also say this. There's a sense of unease in this state that's so deep and so pervasive that it lends itself to the potential of somebody coming out of the crowd, and that would be Stephen, coming out of the crowd and being a really a formidable candidate. I guess the issue is there enough people that don't perceive Landry as the kind of leader they want? Because that's the distinction Waguespack is trying to draw. I'm the kind of leader you want, and by inference, he's not.
I mean nothing personal when I say this, but I've noticed this. There are people who Landry's sort of like Donald Trump in that there are people who just don't like him.
Yep.
And they can't quite put their finger on it, but they just don't like him.
Yep.
Are there any other dark horses that may come from behind? John Schroeder?
Well, I mean,
either the two lawmakers.
It seems to me that these people have substantial amount of money, and that therefore it's hard to write a scenario that John Schroeder comes along and kicks into it. But John Schroeder's theory is, this is from other people that I've talked to that have talked to him, so it's just secondhand, it's hearsay, but it seems reasonable to me, and that is, look, there's going to be a lot of attacks on Landry. There will be a lot of money spent attacking him, and so consequently, what will happen is those votes will come off of him, they won't go to Wagonsback because Wagonsback is far more liberal than Jeff Landry. And so who's the conservative left standing? John Schroeder. And that's sort of his argument. And it's an interesting argument. I don't know if it's true, but nobody knows if it's true. But if you have to make a scenario up to kind of keep yourself going, that's as good as any.
Is there any scenario you see where the runoff comes down to not the Democrat versus the Republican?
Yeah.
Because everybody says Sean Wilson. Could be Sean Wilson and blank.
Yeah, I can see that, and here's why. And it takes a lot of imagination. It takes a lot of bending and weaving and bobbing and so on and so forth to get there. But here's the fundamental thing, is that Sean Wilson ends up with not having a lot of money, and Sean Wilson is not able to communicate any kind of message, particularly one to the base of the party, that he's black, that he does not have the ability, financial resources to communicate that. And so consequently, there's not the kind of turnout that would propel him into the runoff. And so then two Republicans could end in the runoff.
Well, we reach in a state where black voters say to a candidate, okay, you're black, so what? What else? What else you got?
I don't think so. But it may be, it's not so much in voting, but it may be in going to vote. That's the question. Okay.
Vote with their feet.
Vote with their feet. Do they vote with their feet? And that's the real issue here. Let's go a couple other things that I want. In the state of Kentucky, the coal miners, coal mine owners, UMW, United Mine Workers, all got together and they endorsed a candidate for governor there. Of course, what happened was Dan Cameron, the Attorney General, beat hell out of the Republicans in the primary. And so what would you expect to happen? All of these coal miners and stuff would endorse the Republican. Well, they didn't. They endorsed the incumbent Democrat, Andy Beshear, because I think that's the way it's named.
Wait a minute, I thought Kentucky was pretty fed up with Beshear.
Oh, well, apparently not. And they endorsed him, and I want to point out what was going on here. I think it's really important for Democrats to understand what's going on. You did not know that Dan Cameron, the Republican nominee, was black, did you?
I did not.
You did not. They did. I don't mean to be ugly.
Black Republican violates the narrative, my friend.
He violates the narrative. I don't mean to be ugly, but he violates the narrative.
We ran out of time. I wanted to ask you about Tim Scott entering the race, and does he have a chance?
I mean, it's going to be some of the. Well, Bill Gates has endorsed him, I think. I don't know.
I like Tim Scott. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's a good guy. But that kind of messes up the narrative, don't it? Yeah, kind of. But anyway, by the way, the women on The View really trashed him. We'll be back next week and talk about the women on The View.
Till then, God bless. Take care.
God, I have struggled.
Listening to Fletch Nation with Roy Fletcher and Kevin Gallagher. Remember, if you heard something that ticked you off, upset your sensibilities, or threatened your precious safe space,
the opinions expressed by the hosts and guests are purely their own and do not reflect those of this radio station or its advertisers.
So if you're calling a lawyer, or planning a boycott, or a cancel campaign, forget about it and join us next week for more Fletch Nation.